Both distance learning and online learning have become increasingly popular in the United States today. But what is the difference between online and distance learning? With online learning, this can be anything that is completed online. So, for example, students and teachers in the same room using the internet as a supplemental tool for learning. This is an example of online learning, but not distance learning. Usually, with online learning, there is an in person interaction. The students and teachers are together, and online learning can be game-based learning. You can use online learning for testing, collaboration, research, all of these things that teachers can have their students do in a classroom. This is all considered online learning. Now, distance learning is a form of online learning, but there's a main difference. Distance learning, you're not going to have that in-person interaction. The students and the teachers are separated by geography. There's not usually in-person interaction, like in that room where you're learning. People are separated by location, and usually distance learning is the primary mode of teaching and learning. Whereas online learning, this is usually used as like a supplemental tool for learning. So those are the main differences between online and distance learning. Now, what kind of things are available to use for online learning experiences today? Well, a lot of things it's very popular to see hybrid or blended learning courses where students and teachers meet maybe once a week or a couple times a week, but then they also complete parts of the course online. Another thing is online high school, public education before, not post-secondary, so secondary education completed online. That's another experience that's available today using online learning. Game-based learning, that's really popular. Games that can cater to students' individual needs and progress as the student progresses. Students can go online now to get professional certificates, not just degrees, but also certificates. Degree programs, obviously, those are available today: associates, masters, doctoral, bachelor's. All of those degree programs are offered for online learning today as well. And then, in addition to degree programs and certificates, there's also lifelong learning, skills learning, any education that students can do that's not necessarily for credits, but they just want to learn something on the side, that kind of thing. That's available today for students. In addition, all these things, they can be completed with the instructor, like real-time lectures, or students are completing their learning at different times. So for example, in one classroom, the instructor may have all of the students log in at, let's say, 7 p.m. on a Wednesday night and listen to a lecture. In another course, like the course we're in, for example, at Grand Canyon University, there's no live lectures and students can log in on their own time to complete their learning. So these are different trends that are available in online learning today. Now, best practices for planning online learning. Obviously, there are much more than this. I just pulled some main ones. Best practices for planning online learning. You need to know the goals of your learners. Why are they there? What do they want to learn? That's extremely important. Second, technology. You need to know and understand how to use the technology required for the online course. You need to plan for any issues with technology that you might have, and you need to plan for the different levels of knowledge students may or may not have with the technology. So some students may not know how to copy and paste. Some students may know extremely well and may get bored with little amounts of technology. So these are kind of things you need to plan for. In addition, learning styles. Online learning can become very stagnant, boring if you just have students do readings and complete papers, and that's all you do. Incorporating video lectures, video clips, audio for students to listen to, having them complete hands-on activities to be engaged with the text, like readings that they're doing. In addition, collaboration, so group projects, group chats, anything that they have to use, they have to work with another person online, that's great. All of these things incorporating different styles, this is good for different learning styles. In addition, the last most important thing I pulled for best practices for planning online learning is teacher presence. Teachers do not need to reply to every single thing a student posts in the classroom. That would just get overwhelming. Instead, what teachers should do is have a specific area that's set aside for the most important questions students may or may not have. And teachers need to make sure that they're very responsive in those areas. They give timely feedback. But teachers need to understand that, they have lives too. They can't go into a forum and reply to every single student response. That's just crazy. But with the things that they do say they're going to be responsive with, they need to follow through with those and make sure that they're giving timely feedback. Otherwise, you'll find students are going through weeks of learning and aren't getting feedback and aren't knowing, where they need to improve in a timely manner, and that can cause, a bad educational experience, not the best for learning. Next, trends and developments for online learning in higher education. Online students are getting younger. According to a study done by Dr. Melissa Venable, a writer for bestcolleges.com and highereducation.com, 34% of schools reported seeing an increase in traditional college students ages 18 to 25 concurrently enrolled in high school and college courses. So students in high school are starting to enroll online and complete college classes before they're even done with high school. So that's a trend. In addition, increase in career-driven students. So you're seeing an increase in students going to higher educational institutions online for a degree, for employment, for careers. 73% of students reported that career and employment were the reasons for enrolling online. In addition, another trend in online learning in higher education is changing perceptions. There used to be a huge stigma that online education wasn't of a very high quality or is as good as traditional campus learning. Now, 79% of online students and 76% of alumni reported that they think online graduation is better than or equal to campus education. And you're also seeing this increase in this perception in employers as well, not just students who have gone and done online learning as well. With all of these trends, there's obviously an increase in demand for higher education with online learning. More and more universities are putting more money into their budgets for online learning since this is increasing in its demand. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much.